Following flooding, people may have substantial psychosocial needs.
KTIV's Taylor Decker joins us live in studio tonight with more. And tonight's Healthbeat 4. Taylor.
Yes, Matt, Jessica, how do you prepare yourself for a rush of emotions while trying to process something devastating like a flood? This week, I spoke with a group who has been answering the calls, trying to give flood victims a listening ear. When you see scenes like this, you might feel anxiety, depression, or PTSD. All these feelings and emotions are valid after a natural disaster.
PTSD usually happens after some sort of traumatic experience, whether it's a natural disaster, abuse, or anything like that.
Siouxland Mental Health's Crisis Center has been taking dozens of calls from people displaced. Extra Warrior is part of that team, having boots on the ground at some of the emergency shelters.
If they just want to call and vent to somebody or ask for advice or talk through something, they can call us 24/7. We're always here to help them through a mental health crisis.
Staff want you to know it's okay not to know how to feel or how to handle your emotions during these times.
PTSD sometimes can be short term, but as long as you're taking care of your mental health, you have a good support system, you're going to therapy to kind of work through those feelings, you'll learn how to cope better with any sort of dissociation, flashbacks, anxiety, depression that you might have.
But what do you do if you want to support someone who is going through a crisis in their life?
Even if they don't want to talk about it, just let them know that you're there for them and that you're willing to talk to them.
All calls to Siouxland Mental Health are free due to grants and funding from the state, so if you need to, pick up the phone.
Thank you for calling the Siouxland Mental Health Crisis Center.
And make the call.
To help you.
Now, if you have questions or need to talk to someone, call the number on your screen here at 712-560-7996. And on that note of mental health,